When you wake up, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? This is Jewish Life 101. Welcome to Jewish Life 101, the podcast where we tackle any topic from a Jewish perspective, from the way that a Jew would look at it. Today's topic is waking up. When someone wakes up in the morning, they automatically think about something. The question is, should they put something into their mind specific, or should they just let their mind flow into whatever it will think about already? Before we start, I'd like to point out that you don't need any background information in order to listen to this podcast. If there's anything that we state that's not 100% clear, we will probably make a separate episode about that. Let's jump into it. When someone wakes up in the morning, there's something that immediately comes to their mind. That thing that comes to their mind affects their entire day. Now, the first thing that comes to their mind is, I have to get up now. They're going to have a hard time getting out of bed, and they're going to feel sluggish. If, on the other hand, someone wakes up and today is Monday, I'm going to have an amazing day, or I'm looking forward to the big game tonight, they're going to have a way easier time getting out of bed. They're going to be a lot more energetic. So, obviously, it would seem like a pretty good idea to try to think about something specific in the morning. That will affect his immediate mood getting up, and that will probably affect his day going forward. And if he has that attitude every single day, that'll be something that automatically affects his life. Just like anything that if you do it consistently, if you think about something consistently, it automatically becomes a part of your life and the way you feel if it affects you emotionally. Judaism has something that it says that every single morning when you wake up, this is what you should be thinking. Every single morning, the first thing in the morning, Judaism says to say the verse, and I'll say it in Hebrew, some of you guys might know it, Moda ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayim shechazarti bi nishmasi b'chem l'rabba munasecha. Which means, I offer thanks to you, living and eternal King, for you have mercifully returned my soul within me. Your faithfulness is great. I'm not recording this together with the video, but we should have made a video together with this that just has that sentence posted so you could keep track of what we're going to teach. The point of this is to have a certain effect on you. Just like if I were to wake up every morning and think that I'm going to have an amazing day, that could be natural, but I could have done that purposely so that I will go into the day with the energy of this is going to be amazing. What energy does this give us? Number one, it's something that's the beginning of every single day. So it must be that it's a way that our day, the energy we should be going into the day with. And number two, that's the energy that our entire day should be taken over with. And number three, this shows that it's a pillar of our day. If we're doing, and a pillar of our general approach, both to Jewish things and to life, because it's a consistent thing. It's a set part of our schedule. And put at such a decisive part of our day that shows that it's foundational. The effect that it should have on us is that when you think about what this specific sentence says, it says, I offer thanks to you, living an eternal King. You realize that you are in a state where the living and eternal King is paying attention to what you say. The living eternal King being God. Now imagine if there was a physical king or any important person in the room with you. You're not going to roll over and go back to sleep. You'll feel uncomfortable. You'll feel like there's something important in the room. You'll jump out of bed. That energy that you'll immediately run to do the most respectful thing and whatever, and if it's someone really important, whatever they tell you to do, because you feel that immediate respect for that person, that is the energy that Torah wants you to go into the day. So to not only waking up, but everything in your day, you're going to speak different, you're going to act different, you might even think different if you realize that there's someone important in the room and they realize what you're doing. On this fundamental sentence, there are many explanations on the whole thing or on specific parts of it. We're going to, over this episode and the next one or two episodes, say 4 explanations on either the whole or part of this sentence. And then we're going to say a 5th explanation, which brings out a very important point in this sentence, and use that to look at the first 4 explanations from an entirely new perspective. And after we do that, we'll have a whole new appreciation of what Judaism and what the Torah is telling us to think as soon as we wake up. A very meaningful, powerful sentence. Let's get started. The first of our 4 explanations from the simple way to look at it is that when someone wakes up, what happens? When he was sleeping, his soul left his body and went up to God, similar to what we explained in last episode about what happens in a dream when someone's sleeping. Check that out, see it further there. But when he wakes up, what happens is that his soul comes back into his body. God gives him back his soul, which that gives us the benefit of life. And in the benefit of life is included all our other benefits. Now, in Judaism, it says that if you benefit from something, you have to thank the one you're benefiting from, which, in really any case of benefiting, is God. You have to thank God if you benefit from something. When you eat food, there's a blessing for that, which blessing is a form of thanks. If you smell a nice fragrance, a lot of times there's a blessing for that. There's a form of benefit, so there's a form of thanks. So it's over here, and especially over here where it's a very general thing. It's a very general thing that you're thanking God for. The very life that you have, which includes all other benefits. As soon as you wake up, because you should do it as close as possible to the benefiting it, as soon as you wake up, you have to immediately thank God. You say, thank you, God, for the fact that you gave me back my soul. The second explanation that we have on this sentence is that sleeping is 1/60th of death. Yes, the body still functions, like we explained in the last episode, but the soul does leave the body, which is really the cause of death. And all his abilities are more in a hidden way. They're more in a dormant way. Therefore, when God returns the soul, it's similar to a resurrection. It's a mini resurrection that happens on a daily basis, which makes us out of this realize and be able to accept the fact that there will be the upcoming resurrection in the future, because God already does that. Number one, the capability to do that, and number two, actually does that on a daily basis. That's what we say. In this sentence, we say that you return my soul, your faithfulness is great. That because you return my soul, therefore your faithfulness is great. That builds up a faith that we have in you, that we have in God, that he will return our soul also by the upcoming resurrection. The third explanation that we have on this sentence is that we are indebted to God. Our whole life is really one big, we are indebted for giving us everything we have. And also, if we were to, God forbid, do something wrong, then God has the right to punish us for that because we accepted that upon ourselves. Nevertheless, when we give our souls to God as a thing for God to watch over meanwhile we're sleeping. So therefore, God has it in his possession, so to speak. It's fully by him. He already took it. Not only is he capable of taking it, which is possible any moment of the day, he already has our soul. Because we gave it to him to safeguard when we go to sleep. But instead of keeping it to pay up the debt, he instead gives it back to us in the morning when we try to wake up. And for that we say, that you return my soul. For this, your faithfulness is great. We can have much faith in you that you will return our soul. We can therefore give it to him every single night, trusting that he'll give it back the next day. And we can see that God is trustable from previous days. The sages teach us that the lesson we should learn from this is that we should act accordingly. God shows us this behavior so that we should also know. If someone owes us something, and let's say they say, can you wash this for me? You don't keep it. When they need it back, you give it back to them. They'll pay you back a different time. If they gave you collateral, that would be different rules. But if they gave you something just to watch for them, or if you're borrowing something from them, the right thing to do, the honest thing to do, is not to keep it, but to give it back. That's what we learn from this verse. That God return my soul, that is the attribute of having much faith. The fourth explanation is a little bit more of an esoteric explanation, so we're going to really explain it in depth when we go the second time around. This fourth explanation, let's give a little bit of a background. So on an esoteric level, it kind of goes through an entire map of between God and all the way down to this world. The very, very basic version of that map is that there are 4 worlds. Our world is the last of those 4 worlds. And in each world, there are 10 levels or 10 attributes through which godliness is revealed. And through which godliness creates that world itself. The lowest of these 2 levels are Yesod, which means foundation, and Malchus, which means kingship. Now, there are reasons for this name, but we're not going to go into them now. For now, let's just look at it as a map. So the 9th level is foundation, and the 10th level is kingship. Also, a lot of times, each one of these levels will have other ways that we can refer to them. A lot of times, these attributes and these levels will have other names that we'll refer to them by. One of the other ways that we refer to the 9th level, the level that we call foundation, is living and eternal. So when we say living an eternal king, there returns my soul, what we mean is that the 10th level, the level of kingship, it says king and kingship, the way it is connected, the way it is, if it unifies with the level on top of it, and of living an eternal, which is really foundation, when the lowest two of the 10 levels connect and unify, from that unification is the returning of the soul. For today's lesson, the best takeaway would just be to listen over to this episode again, and instead of listening from a logical perspective of what information can I get out of it, think about what can I implement into my day? What can I think about when I wake up in the morning? Next time, we're going to introduce the fifth aspect, the fifth explanation that we can have on this sentence, and through that, flip around all of the other four explanations and show them from a completely new light. From that, you'll be able to understand the amazingness of the sentence that Judaism tells us that this is the first thing, this is the foundation of our day. Make sure to follow in order to see that next week and to turn on notifications. I wish you an amazing, wonderful rest of your day. And we'll see you next time on Jewish Life 101. If you enjoyed today's episode, feel free to share with a friend. Here at Jewish Life 101, we spend many hours on every single episode, and it's all with your support. Just click the link in the description to find out more, and we'll see you next time on Jewish Life 101.